here with Ben Ouattara.
Perfect.
Did I get it?
Ouattara,
Awesome.
exactly.
So we usually kind of do a whole introduction, but I'm just going to let you take over because you have your own kind of unique style. So I'm going to let you just take over.
All right. Thanks, William. All right. So I'm going to share with you the poem, the I Am Possible poem. And that's just going to summarize a lot of things that we can talk about now.
Awesome.
And yeah, it goes like this. Sometimes I slip and fall. I have to dig and crawl. And I feel so frustrated that I slam my fist on walls. I spent years in the shadow, doubted myself. And no one came to my rescue when I shouted for help. I always knew what to do, but I didn't do what I knew. Today I win or I win because I got nothing to lose. Pay your dues and you'll reap the benefits. Winners are not those who never fail, but those who never quit. Don't compare yourself. It might scare yourself. It's an obstacle. Only use others' greatness as a proof that it's possible. Competing with nobody but the man in the mirror. Because only when you achieve to surpass yourself, you're a winner. Your talents and ideas are a gift from God. And throwing away that gift is like dissing God. No, I don't disregard the fact that this is hard. That's why I start my day with my toughest challenge. I eat that frog. Open books lay next to my bed on my shelf. Because like a Polaroid picture, I developed myself. I was a realist, but who decides what real is? Like definitions of words, who decides what fear is? What could F-E-A-R mean? Let me try. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Ignite that fire in your heart and just keep it burning. New definition of fail, first attempt in learning. It's a choice to say no or scream loud, yeah. Opportunity is nowhere or now here. Impossible or I am possible. If you want to grow, mind that comfort zone. It seems so far away. You need more time, you wait, but know that you assassinate your dreams when you procrastinate. The richest place in the world is the cemetery. People now dead and buried that could have been legendary. Dreams never lived. Ideas never shared. Never created, innovated out of fear, never dared. As long as you learn from your errors, it is not a mistake. You don't have to be great to start, but have to start to be great. So start today and say, I will not delay. And every obstacle in my way will be knocked away. Put your hand on your chest, feel your heart beating and say, I'm scared, I want to run, but I'm not leaving. I might fall and get hurt, but will not stop dreaming, because I know eventually every wound stops bleeding. Until I stop breathing, I will not stop to grow. And always remember that I am possible. Until I stop breathing, I will not stop to grow. And always remember that I am possible.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. I like it.
Thanks,
That's
man.
awesome. You killed it. It's a unique talent, because that's like you said, English is actually like your third language.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like my first language is French, then German, and then English. Yeah.
Wow. That's I can't even do that in English. It's my first language. That's my first language, and I couldn't do that. So that's awesome, man. Because you kind of have really, it sounds like you've kind of gone from someone who started out traveling, you came to Dubai, you kind of show that you're in the fitness industry, but like in Germany, you really are kind of a motivational person. You've put out a lot of content, you've created a lot of different stuff, but you've kind of had that transition, and now you're kind of bringing it into English, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very interesting because a lot of people, and myself included, I always felt that I needed to have things figured out from the start. And you know, when I came out of school, I really felt like everyone knows what they want to do and they want to study and this and that, what they want to be. And I always felt kind of lost because I really didn't know. And we have all these standards from society that say us, oh, at a certain age, you need to be there. If you're not, then something wrong with you. And you need to, like be figured out in a certain way. And every time that we try something and then we find out maybe that's not the right thing for me, and I want to switch or figure out something else, it's a very scary place for a lot of people, and they feel that they're starting over, or that they're losing, or that they lost time and things like that. And I used to be very I used to feel this anxiety as well, in myself, where I felt like, oh, I'm supposed to already be successful, and now I'm still trying out things. And I used to believe, because I was rapping, like I started rapping when I was, I don't even know, like 19, 20, and in German first, and I started to with my friends and everything, and it was a long time. It's like decided I don't really want to go into this industry, and I felt like it's a waste of time. And later on, there's so many jobs that I did and different projects that I started where I felt like it's a waste of time. And later on, I just realized that I trained so many different skills that later on were combined. And I love, there is a quote, and it's what is I'm not good with names. The man that from Apple, the Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He had this quote where he said, "You can only connect the dots backwards." And I don't know if you know that when he was studying, he needed some points for a course, so he needed to take a calligraphy course. And he only took it because he needed some grades to be able to pass the year. So he just said, okay, let me just do that. I'm not interested in calligraphy, but whatever, let me just do it, because it seemed easy to him at the time. And then when he was in that calligraphy class, he actually learned so much about design that he later on included when he designed Apple and Macintosh. And he said that if he didn't take that calligraphy course, it would never have given him that edge, because they were very known for their design element. And he said that you can only connect the dots backwards. Certain things that feel like a waste of time or feel like you don't really know what you're doing right now could be a huge asset in the future. And that's why it's very important to, to realize that. And that will take away the emotion, because that's that emotion that really stress us and make us fear the future or put ourselves down and stuff like that. So that's why it's just like I went through so many different phases, but it actually added up to make me do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, definitely the dots connect as you get older and you see the kind of dead-end job that you thought you had suddenly connects. I can definitely relate, not on a Steve Jobs level, but I can relate. Let's talk about kind of the early days, because you kind of started out as a freight runner, which you had to explain what that is, which is a unique job, and then that's kind of what brought you to Dubai. You had a production company. You kind of went back and forth with that, but now you kind of are in a unique place because you know how to create your own content and you have your own content, but talk more about just the journey of getting to where you're at now.
Okay, so basically, I kind of from a very early start kind of followed what I felt feels right to me, without really knowing how I can make money off of it. Like I started, I went to it was like a art academy in Holland, and I just remembered it was really a friend of mine that went there on the opening day. I didn't have nothing to do. I just went there, and I just saw people really like sculpturing, art, photography, videography, everything. I just saw it and I was like, wow, I just want to be in that environment. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I just want to be here. And I ended up studying there. And, with that, I just started, when I came from there was a very big focus on just being creative and design, but not on business. No one taught us how to really get clients, how to really market yourself, none like that. So I just went out and I just started, doing videos for people here and there. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I just got the opportunity to work as a flight carrier, and then just like a flight carrier is basically someone that just brings something that someone needs very fast within 24 hours. You take something, a box, obviously you always check what's inside, but it could be, something big, something small, microchips, but it's just like a company that needs it very, very fast. They need someone to get in the plane, take it and just deliver it somewhere. You rent a car, you drive there and you drop it. Yeah. And while I was doing that, I did it for around a year. I traveled to almost 80 countries in 1 year. And that really opened me up to the world. I mean, I traveled a lot. I grew up in Ivory Coast and I lived in Belgium before I came to Germany. So it's not like I was in one city my whole life anyways. Yeah. So I was very, it was very good for me to just rediscover more, but it's something that I was already comfortable with. But it definitely got me out of my comfort zone, out of the circle of friends that I was with. And it really made me realize how much more there is out there, because that's something that a lot of people that stay in one place, they never really experience. They don't go out of their own mindset, of their own culture, their own way of thinking. And I believe that you're only as free as the options that you know. If you only have two things that you know what you could do, then that's the only choice you have. Is that reality? No. There might be 20 things that you could be doing. You just don't know about the 18 others. So that's why you're stuck in these two. And the more you expose yourself to different situations, people, for example, no one knows what a flight carrier is until I tell them. Yeah. So they don't know that job exists. How many jobs do you know that exist, or that, that exist and you don't know about them?
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it's just like this journey of discovering what's out there, trying out different things, exposing yourself to different things, meeting different people, and that got me to Dubai. And Dubai is to me also, one thing that really attracted me to Dubai, first of all, is it really represents this I am possible, making the impossible possible. It's in the middle of the desert, and look at this. I mean, you know, you would never be able to imagine that something like this is possible. It is built on vision. I mean, everything that exists is built on vision. Before this microphone existed, someone had to think about it and build it, right? So everything starts with your way of thinking, what you can imagine. And I just believe that Dubai is a symbol in the world of really how far you can take imagination and just, you know, implementation to make it happen. Because obviously it's not only about vision, but then you have the multicultural aspect, that you have people from all over the world. And I always saw myself as a world citizen. My dad is from the Ivory Coast, Africa. My mom is German. I grew up between two cultures. And I traveled a lot, but I always felt comfortable with this because I felt that this is what makes me grow. If I'm just surrounded with people that think the same as me and behave the same as me, I'm never going to grow because I'm never going to be challenged. Is what I'm doing actually right or not? Or why do I even think like that? Some people don't even question the way they're thinking. So now it's just like a country where a city, specifically Dubai, you have the whole UAE, but specifically Dubai, where you have people from everywhere. There's a lot of movement, and you have a lot of people that left something behind to come here to build something new. That is a mindset. You have a lot of people, they stay in their comfort zone. They might not be satisfied, but they still stay there. I don't like my job. I don't like my relationship. I don't like my... but it's like the pain is not big enough for them to change something.
Yeah.
If something is going to leave everything behind, it's like either you're so inspired by something or you're so fed up by the way things are that you need a change. And you have a lot of people that come here that have that mindset. So I really like that because you are the sum of the people you spend the most time with. And what you're surrounded with is going to define your standards, right? So if the standard is high, you're going to raise your standard as well. So I believe that I'm always on the journey of becoming the better version of myself. But if I'm in an environment, let's say when you say you're the smartest person in a room, you're not challenged, but then you're in the wrong room. Because you need to be in a room where you feel like, wow, I need to learn more. I need to be stronger. I need to be better. And that's why I try to surround myself with people like that and also challenges. So it's not only people and situations, it's also things that you do. So if you do something, if it's a job, if it's a career, whatever it is, and you do it for a very long time and it becomes a routine, it can become boring. It can become, you're like, oh, there's no challenge anymore. So I came to Dubai. I had an opportunity as a flight carrier. I met people here. So I came to Dubai and I started with the one thing that I knew how to make money with and what people needed, which was creating videos. And that was something that I learned. But that is, again, when we talk about the options that we have, is the things that we know. The more we know, the more options open up. And for example, now the world changes as well. And I always believe that it's just like species in the world. It's like not the strongest survive, the ones that are they're most adaptive to change. All the species in the world, when there's a climate change or whatever, the ones that survive are the ones that can adapt to the environmental change. Now, there's a lot of things in this industry with social media that are changing and shifting from TV, radio, newspaper. Now it's becoming blogs, podcasts, and YouTube videos and social media content. So there's a lot of big shift that happened, and a lot of people can still hold on to the way things were. Or, you know, you can still work in these industries, but it's not the future, to me at least. So I'm just looking at everything, and on top of it, I just looked at, what do I really want to do? What is something that really fulfills me? And there is something, I don't know if you know, it's called Ikigai. It's like a Japanese illustration that kind of symbolizes how to find your calling, or what really will fulfill you in every area. And it has 4 elements. So it's like 4 circles that are connected, and one circle is something that you love. The second is something you're good at. The third is something you can make money with, and the fourth is something that the world needs. Now, you can have a combination of 2. You can have something you're good at and you can make money with and the world needs, but you don't really love it. Right? So that's a job. You're good at it. That's what I had. People needed it. I'm good at it. I can make money with it, but it doesn't fulfill me. Or you have something you're good at and you love it, but you can't make money off of it, or people don't need it, right? And you have a hobby, or or you have something that is needed and you can make money with it, but you're not good at it. So maybe you can become a middleman, whatever, connect people, right? Maybe you enjoy that. So that's also, people are managers, for example. But it's like, if you have a combination of these 4, something you love, you're good at it, people need it, and you can make money off of it, then you have your Ikigai. And that's something that I was after, and I saw that I'm good at it and I can make money with it, but it doesn't fulfill me. And that was funny because 7 years ago, at the time when I came to Dubai, I was involved in a project. and we just talked about that earlier. But it was just like I was gonna do 10 portraits, video portraits, like mini documentaries of 10 young people in Germany with migration background. One was Iranian, Turkish, one, you know, African kid, because of the image that, you know, is usually represented in the press or in the media, that they only, you know, show people that are criminals or not integrated.
This is in Germany, right?
That was in Germany, exactly. So they wanted to, in this project, just show the different facets, because you have a lot of, you know, Turkish lawyers or people that are artists or, you know, very positive role models for the young people. So it was basically a societal project for younger kids, so, you know, they can actually see role models. And I was the director for this project. Now, the woman in charge of this project told me, do one video about yourself. So of these 10, you should be one of them. And I was like, okay, you know, and that was before social media was really booming. Yeah, you had YouTube and everything, but I never really thought of uploading a video on YouTube and things like that. So I did it. And because I was consuming so much motivational content and, you know, developing myself is something that becomes you. If you really start to learn something and it becomes the way you think, when you talk, it will come out. You know, it's just like what comes in goes out. And a lot of people that saw this video, I didn't have no website, no Facebook page, no nothing, no brand. I didn't even plan to do anything with that. Just uploaded. I actually didn't even want to upload it on my own YouTube channel. And a friend of mine saw this, said, you need to upload it. It's amazing. People need to see it. So I just uploaded it. And over the past, I mean, now, like 1 year ago, I made a shift. But until then, it was like 6 years that people were starting to share the video, and it really grew, and it's kind of got viral. If I count everything together, like almost like 5-6 million views. And people were starting to message me every day, email, YouTube messages, Facebook messages. Wow, please make more videos, make more content, write a book, this and that. And at the time, I didn't really know what to do with this. I thought, oh, that's cool, people are liking it, but I didn't really see myself as putting myself out there. And I doubted I was like, who am I to write a book, and who am I to put everything out there, and just limiting myself, basically believing my own limitations. You know, we all have that. We have the ceilings, and we put some people on the pedestal, and like, I cannot be like this guy, right? Yeah. And I did that, and I started to, you know, and with time, you had this shift of social media, influencers, and I was always passionate in fitness. So I started, you know, I competed with my wife. We did a lot of things. And my wife also, you know, she supported me a lot, because a lot of things that I was doing on the side, writing poetry, you know, like giving speeches, even sometimes motivational speech. I was even coaching people just like that, but, you know, in small circles. And she was like, you need to do more with that. It's amazing. And sometimes things that I would create, she would just share it. So she played a big part in, you know, just, you know, pushing these. Always have someone that really sees something in you. Yeah. And sometimes you don't even see it in yourself. Yeah. And so she really was instrumental in really pushing me into that direction. And then I just said, you know what? It's time for me. And that's when I wrote this poem, I Am Possible. I literally wrote it down. I never wrote anything in English. That was like the first thing that I wrote. And it just came out like this. I just wrote it in like 20 minutes. I just wrote it down. And that was kind of everything that I was feeling. A lot of quotes in there that are known quotes that I just put in perspective. And I was just like, this is what I really want. And this is the thing that I've always been doing, is communication. And I thought about it, it's like video is visual communication. Music is communication through, you know, rhymes and rhythm. Then speaking is also communication. So what I've always been good at is putting a message out and communicating to people. But I had to go through different stages and jobs and to actually really filter out what is that one thing that actually is really my unique thing. And it's great. I did great projects as my film production company. We did projects for the government, for MasterCard, McDonald's, like really like big projects that were amazing and challenging. But that's what, you know, when I said, when you do something too long for a while, it becomes a routine. And then I felt like I wasn't challenged. And then I started, money is not my motivation. You know, I'm not going to do this for the next 20 years just because I can, you know, pay everything that I want to pay. It's not fulfilling me. And then I started to pay more and more attention to these people messaging me every day. And then that's how I really made I understood this work. What is your calling? And I said, people are calling me every day. This is my calling. This is what the needs, like if you look at the market, you always have demand and supply. There is a demand. People are contacting me directly and asking me for something, and I'm not giving it to them. Why? Who am I to deny people of this? So then I said, you know what? Let me just go all in. I have nothing to lose. I can only win, because I win experience, and I learn something new. And, you know, I can actually create something that will be amazing, or it's not going to work and I'm just right back where I was before. I have nothing to lose. Yeah. And that's when I really went into this I am possible, and going back into I want to really spread that message and that word. And here we are now. Now I started like last year. I started as a speaker. I launched a podcast because so many people already knew me in Germany because of this one video. I said it makes sense to start there because the market is already there. There's already a brand, even though I didn't even, plan to create it. It's there. So I used it, and, I started with a podcast, and, just #1 on iTunes. I got 500,000 downloads. I did, I was booked as a speaker from different, it was funny because there was, I decided, and that was so interesting with the law of attraction, things like that. It's just because things come into your field of vision when you really decide to do something. And I decided I want to be a speaker. Now I need to get speaking opportunities. How do I even do that? I don't even know any speakers, So I try to surround myself with people that are in that industry and everything, because that's how opportunities come. And that's how you expand your vision. And 1 month after I said that, I had one speaking engagement here. Then I got contacted from someone that I used to work for 10 years ago in Germany. And he contacts me and he says, yes, I'm working in this big company now. And my boss, actually last year, they had like a company event. It's like the end of the year. They have like, this big celebration, and they have like, 1,000 employees, and they all come together. And the boss was doing a speech for 1 hour. And he used my video from YouTube, and he played it as a motivation for the employees. And then I heard from so many people that used my video as a motivational tool for coaching sessions. I didn't even know about this. So now he's like, and we want you this year to come live and then do this motivational. And I'm just like, I never even put this on my website. I never even told anyone. And all of a sudden, and that's how I feel like, you just recognize certain opportunities. Maybe if someone had messaged me 3 years or 4 years ago, I might not even have seen this. I'm like, it's not what I do, and ignored it. So it's not only that these things happen when you're ready for it, you start to recognize them and follow up on certain things that show you that direction, and you see more and more and more. So it's not just luck in the universe setting things to you. It's just you filter things out. Every single day we pay attention to certain things and ignore other things, and now all of a sudden it gets into your field of vision. That's what's happening.
And so now you actually have the I Am Possible podcast in English too, right? You're just kind of starting out. How can people find find you on Instagram? What's your kind of handles and stuff?
Exactly. So my Instagram handle is Ben_Dubai82. And the podcast is just I Am Possible. If you put it on iTunes, now it's going to be on Spotify and Google Play. Like any podcast, player can find the podcast. And I just launched it last week. So now, I have actually this kind of challenge that I do. I did it in Germany. The first 30 days, I upload 30 episodes. So 1 episode per day, Wow. So whoever is going to come there now, there's going to be at least, a lot of episodes. So I already got like now 8 or 9 episodes on.
Nice.
And I have rap, I have poetry, I have speaking, and actually take lines of the poems that I write and I go in depth. Or I take quotes, because you see, social media nowadays, you have so many people that post in quotes, but a lot of times, like, people hear quotes, but they don't really see how can it apply to my life, or we don't go a level deeper. It's more about quantity, and it's just like, I just try to look at one quote and say, okay, let me just take that and really go deep with it. What does it really mean? Fear, false evidence appearing real. How can I really use that? How can I take situations in my life? Because that's when change really happens, when you really use content, and it's not only theory, but it actually becomes practical. And that's, like what I really do in the podcast. And then, also do interviews with people. I want to take really authors of certain books that I personally read and that made an impact on my life, that I want to interview and ask certain questions maybe that are open. So it's actually also good for myself, because certain questions that I had, I was like, I wish I could ask this. So, it grows your network. You're, giving a platform to other people, but you're also, using their platform. And so it's just like, giving and taking.
Nice. I think that's a pretty good episode. Is there anything that you didn't get to say that you want to kind of put out before we end the episode?
No, I just believe that the last thing is, my message is really so that every single person starts to be more aware of what they're doing, and especially about themselves, because I believe that we can read books, we can go to seminars, we can watch certain things, and a lot of people, they're just really passionate about motivation. And it's just like fitness. It's a topic that is growing, because a lot of people increasingly are unhappy or unsatisfied with a certain situation in their lives, and they get kind of this boost of motivation sometimes. They're like, yeah, I can do this. But I believe that the source where you can learn the most is yourself. It's like you can study the world, you can study everything else, other successful people, but the secret lays in yourself. You are the biggest problem in your own life, but you're also the biggest solution. And everything starts with the way you're thinking, and the way you're thinking usually is conditioned by society, by your parents, by how you grew up, and all the limitations, all the ways that your culture, certain things, certain mentalities that we have that we don't even realize that we have. And as soon as we start to really study ourselves and we start to remove these blocks that we created, we see that we created the goats that we actually believe are limitations in our own lives or ceilings in our own lives. And that is what I'm trying to put forward with my message. The I am possible always comes down to who you are or believe you are, because whether something is possible or impossible is up to the person that will make it possible. Like, this was created based on the vision of someone and the implementation. It's not possible or impossible. If you believe in it, you're going to start to put steps in action to make it possible, and then everyone else is going to is going to see it. So that's why a lot of times people feel that, you know, like, oh, you know, people don't believe in me, or my family doesn't believe in me, or my parents, or people are putting me down, they don't believe in my vision. People are not supposed to believe in your dream. A vision is nothing else but a dream or an idea. It's worthless. Implementation is the most important. People have ideas every single day. So it's like, once you make the impossible possible, then people will see it and believe in it. But until then, the only person that needs to believe it is yourself. So that's the last message that I have. Just believe in yourself. Don't expect anyone else to believe in your own dreams. Don't tell people your ideas and expect them now to think that you're cool or give you praise, because that's what a lot of people do. They feel good when people say, oh, that's an amazing idea. Oh, thank you. You didn't do anything. You want to be rewarded in advance, you know? Put in the work, believe in yourself, keep moving forward, and you can make the impossible possible.
Awesome, man. I'll end it there. Great episode.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man.